Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Cabrini Kid podcast. I'm your host, the champ himself, the Cabrini Kid, David Haywood, welcoming everybody into our last show of. Oh, no, it's not going to be. Is this going to be our last show of October? No, we got one more show.
Yeah, one more, right?
One more show in October. That's going to be our Halloween episode. Next to me, to my left, have my illustrious, the distinguished on IG. You can find him, Mr. Perkins, to you,
Mm.
Keenan KP Perkins, and then down below both of us, we have our guest for this evening,
Hello,
um,
hello.
Susie Carreiro, joining us from the lovely state of Rhode
Thank
Island.
you.
Susie, say what's up to the people.
Hello, everyone. It is quite an honor and pleasure to be here, and I'm excited for tonight's discussion. It's going to be really great, and so hello.
So Susie, why don't you give a little introduction, who you are, where you're from, where you live, what do you do now, some of your hobbies, likes, interests, things like that.
Sure, sure. So I live in the little state of Rhode Island, up in the East Coast, where it is chilly. It is cold. I was just speaking with my co-host here, and I was saying how I'm trying to plan my escape because it is way too cold in the winter. I am not built for this. I do enjoy the seasons, 4 seasons, but it's a little too cold for me in the winter. It's too long. But I'm in Rhode Island. My career, my profession is I've been teaching high school art for 23 years now. Um, and
Wow.
so, yeah, so I've been doing that and I love it. I do love it, although education is tricky these days and sometimes a little dangerous. But we need more educators to make an impact. So this is great. And then I also have a degree in art therapy, so I have been able to provide some services for therapeutic art. Um,
Mm.
that's always been exciting for me, and I've been able to work with populations from children to geriatrics to elderly, and also in just adults in high school also. So I've been doing a little bit of that also. And as far as myself, my hobbies, I love staying fit. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a fitness person. I was fortunate to fall into bodybuilding at the age of 46 and fell in love with it. And my success was um, apparently great at that point. And so I ended up competing for quite some years and then became a pro bodybuilder in 2019. And so it's just been a passion of mine. It's a lifestyle, thank you. And I do coach on the side with women's bodybuilding, and I'm a posing coach. So that has been very rewarding, and I'm blessed to be able to still be in the industry, and I love it. So that is a little bit about myself, and that's it.
I mean,
That's
that's a lot. That's a teacher and a bodybuilder and a coach on the side. Like that's a lot. But thank you for being a teacher. I know
Thank
typically people
you.
say thank you for your service to
I
military
appreciate it.
service members, but I know teachers, you guys have had a rough go probably ever since 2020. So
Mm-hmm.
for all that you do
Yes,
for kids. But let me ask you a question.
sure.
What we're all here for, obviously. Um, what do you think leads you to respect a man? What do you think are some of the traits that you see initially in a guy? Like if you just see him on the street, what do you think that leads you to respect him? But then the follow up to that is, what are some of the things that lead you to not respect him?
Oh goodness. Okay. So so initially, I mean, it's going to be a difficult. That's kind of a difficult question when you have to visually see someone and that you don't have any background in knowledge on. If someone is carrying themselves a certain way, I think you kind of understand that energy and that body language. That's first and foremost. That captures my attention. But I feel like respect is something that is it's really earned. It's not something that is shown, and it's kind of built. It's not something that's just given, especially once you get into knowing someone. Um,
Mhm.
you have to kind of work on it and understand where that person's coming from. There's a lot that falls into it. There's a lot that falls into it when it comes to respect. For me, it's consistency. I feel like if there's a lack of that, it's showing that there's a lack of respect. Um,
Mhm.
uh, you have to be able to. I think trust is built on that. If someone's consistent with you and there's honest communication, that's also another part of trust for me. I'm assuming. I think it's changed for me also as I've grown. Mind you, I'm 53 years old now. So um, over the years, a lot has changed, and you experience a lot. And at that point, you start to kind of grow into a different person.
Mhm.
And I've acquired different type of respect from certain individuals. I think when I was younger, I just kind of went with the flow, and I think a lot of this generation does the same. And so, unfortunately, I'm at a point in my life where I know exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to respect. And setting boundaries is super important for me. Again, the consistency, listening is huge, and they're not just listening to understand. So,
Mhm.
I mean, that is sort of the foundation, I feel like, for any relationship to be based on, especially for, I'm not speaking for all older women, but I think we're at a space, we're in a place, in a chapter in our life, in a season that we've kind of been through a lot. And we've experienced probably one or two or several relationships at this point, so we know what is going to kind of um, work for us and what has not worked for us. So um,
Mhm.
that's where respect for me has kind of taken over. And yeah.
KP, do you feel like are you the type of person that starts with like 100% respect, and then that person will subtract from that, or do they have to, or do they start at zero and they build up?
I am an empath. I am a person that always gives someone benefit of the doubt. That's worked in my favor in some situations, and in some situations it has not. But I am a person that's quite understanding and patient. Not everyone is like me. So
Mhm.
I always give everyone the opportunity to prove me wrong. So
They
when
start at 100.
I start at it close to 100. I don't know if it's exactly 100, but it's about 80%. So I say, okay, I'm starting here, and let's see where this is going to go through your actions. And again, your respect for me, your consistency, your communication, all of that I just kind of touched on. But yeah, for me, it's just I like to give everybody that chance.
Mhm.
Not everybody's that understanding, but it's for me it's always been that. And then we just allow things to fall into place, and it's going to go it's going to be really solid and grow from there, or it goes a little backwards, and then this respect starts to diminish, and that's never good, but it is what
Mhm.
it is.
So, so I think that I started 100.
You started 100, okay.
I started 100 as far as if we're talking about respect. If we're talking about trust, that's a whole different thing. But if we're talking about just respect, I started at 100, and because clearly, if this is just my personal opinion or how I necessarily go about things, if I am approaching said woman, there must be something in me that initially has to respect her in order for me to approach her. Like if she's dressed like a certain 304,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not something that I'm going to approach because I may not respect the way that person is dressed. So I think I started 100 as far as respect goes, and then I think I agree with Susie by consistency, by reciprocation, by communication, by all those things. I think they can either subtract or continue to grow. It just really depends.
Yeah, I mean, you touched up on something that's really important, and I know that it was mentioned in the beginning when you had asked me the question, is that the visual part of it when you initially meet someone, right? Yes, how they present themselves is really important, of course, and so that's going to initiate what the respect issue is to start with. If you can tell when someone has respect for themselves or maybe they don't, just in the way they present themselves and in their body language, how they operate, how they approach you, how they communicate. I mean, there's lots of layers to that, you know.
Do you feel like you look at little things, and when I mean little, when I say little things, I mean, and I've had this, actually I've made this post on Facebook before. I said, ladies, if a guy doesn't keep his fingernails cut, what do you think? Or what does that tell you about how he's looking at his fingernail? How does that tell you, or what does that tell you about how he's going to treat you? Right.
I had this conversation just this morning with someone, and hopefully they're listening because this is kind of funny. Yeah, hygiene is important. Hygiene is very important. I think most people feel the same way, but for me, it's extremely important. And so, I am a person of detail, and maybe it's because I'm a visual individual. I'm a visual learner, and so initially, if something is off for me, it's off. And so I kind of get turned off quickly if that's especially if it comes to hygiene, So yeah, I agree. No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's not something that I can kind of overlook sometimes. There's certain things I can, overlook. Maybe some clothing, maybe this fashion.
Like if he's not fashionable, you can overlook.
I've had this conversation before too.
Like if he's just not a trendy guy.
I've been in that situation. I love fashion. It's just been part of my life. I probably have way too much clothes than I need to have in my house, but that's just who I am. So I have been in a situation where someone was not, he's just the average guy and probably had maybe like 2 pairs of jeans in his closet, a dark pair and a light pair, and maybe 3 button-up shirts. And I was like, oh, damn. Okay, so we can work with this, though. As long as he is
a dark pair and a light pair of jeans.
Right. And he felt like that was all he needed, which it probably was.
So I gotta ask.
Yes.
Are you single?
I am.
Okay, so my next question is, how in the world, or what in the world is dating like in Rhode Island?
Non-existent. Non-existent. It's a difficult journey out here, I'll have to tell you.
What is the population of Rhode Island like?
I don't even know. It's not a lot. I should know this, but I don't.
A couple.
I mean, it literally takes about 45 minutes to get from one part of the state to the next, from one end to the next. I should know the population. I don't offhand. Shame on me. But you know what it is? It's a small community, obviously. So everyone knows
1.1 million.
that is way more than I thought.
Wow.
That is way more than I expected to hear from you. So, wow. But here's the thing. In Rhode Island, everyone knows everyone. So I go to the grocery store, I'm going to know 10 people. I go to CVS down the street, I know 5. So everybody's kind of in everyone's business. And so there's only so many places to go and meet people in Rhode Island. And I'm not a person that really is that out and about at this point. I'd rather just stay home sometimes, which is not good for me. So yeah.
So that leads to another question. So
okay.
You're single, you are fit, you are, I mean, you're in Rhode Island, so you don't go out. So
no, I do. I travel. I go out. I was actually just traveling. It was really nice, but
so you're a passport girl.
I try. I mean, if I'm gonna do anything, let me go. And I live right. I live 15 minutes, 55 minutes from Boston. I used to live in Boston. I went to school in Boston, so Boston's nice, but Boston's big, and you meet a lot of people, which is great. So it's not like I'm trapped.
You go to other cities to kick it.
Sometimes, yeah, to go out and just kind of, there's just different things to do outside of Rhode Island. I mean, Rhode Island is great. It has lots of culture, the restaurants, the food. There is every kind of ethnic group you can imagine, which is amazing, really. Honestly, people don't realize that. But yeah, you're laughing.
KP not buying
it. Out of the 1.1 million people there, what is there, like 2 black people there?
Oh no, it's a huge black population. It's a very mixed. So I don't know if you ever heard of the Cape Verdean Islands. That it's Portuguese, and so the Cape Verdean Islands are beautiful. Africa, Portugal, the islands, and so there's a mix of Portuguese. That's their population is Portuguese and African. And so they're a beautiful culture. And so, yeah, we have a lot of Cape Verdeans in Rhode Island. We have a lot of Hispanic. We have plenty of Black folks here, and Portuguese. We have a huge community of Portuguese also. So, yeah, it's very diverse. And everyone that I speak to about this does not believe me until they get here.
Because they hear Rhode Island and they immediately think where.
Yes, and they do until if anybody ever visits, and I've had friends visit and they say, I can't make out what these people are. And I go, what do you mean? I can't look. I'm looking at anyone that's walking down the street, and I really have no idea what their ethnicity is because there's so much of a mixture.
You're literally the first person I've ever talked to or met from Rhode Island.
Well, there's always a first. There's always a first. Right?
So with that being said, like, what kind of men are approaching you in your particular area? Is it white men? Is it the Cap Verdean dudes? It's
a mix. I mean, believe it or not, I don't get approached very often. And this goes back to the whole dating thing. I think that I don't know if it's society, social media, what's happening. The respect issue is an issue for me. And going back to, circling back, the people that have tried to approach me have approached me in a manner that is not cool with me. So let me just give you an example. There will be no like, hey, I'd love to get to meet you. Let me maybe take you to dinner, so on and so forth. It is kind of like, hey, you want to come by my place and have a drink? No, I certainly do not.
No, sir, I do not.
No, I don't even know you. Absolutely no. So it's been a challenge, And don't get me wrong, I've met some great people along the way, and I've been fortunate. And so, but it hasn't been in Rhode Island. It hasn't been in Rhode Island.
It's been on your travels.
Yes.
I was having a back and forth with a lady on Facebook today because she said that she's also in her 50s.
Okay.
Had agreed to go on a lunch date with this guy.
Yep.
And the day of the date, he texted her at like 6 a.m. and he said, "Hey, I'm really looking forward to meeting you later on today." They had never met before. They've only been talking.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Hey, I'm looking forward to meeting you later on today. I had a sexy dream about you, but I'll tell you about it when I see you."
Wow.
And she was going off about, she was like, "This is so inappropriate.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know me. We've never met." Oh, and so
that goes back to respect. I mean, where is the lack of this? There's just a lack of that these days. And I'm not even.
But is that disrespectful? That's disrespectful?
It is. I find it's disrespectful. If you don't
That was a temperature check.
if you haven't even gotten to meet someone,
temperature check.
If you haven't had conversation with someone and really gotten to
but they have. They've had enough conversations for her to feel comfortable to meet him for a date.
Okay.
So it's not like he's a stranger.
Okay.
He didn't say what the dream was. He said, "I had a sexy dream about you. I'll tell you when I see you."
All right.
And so my response to her post was, "Well, he's seen pictures of you.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's playing off the pictures that he's seen." And she was like, "I've never sent him anything suggestive. We've shared some pictures, but nothing suggestive." And I said, "Well, I feel like in today's day and age,
yes,
men are in a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation." And what I mean by that is, if he never says anything to feed her ego, then he's not interested.
I can agree with that.
Does say something that feeds her ego, he's coming on too strong.
It is. It's that perception that is given off that, and I feel like, again, it's just the way social media has kind of created this ideology of what relationships should look like, or how people should be approached, or should be or shouldn't be. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate because the way we were raised, I mean, the way I was raised back in the day, was all based on like values and morals, and sometimes that's just thrown out the window. I mean, I think that's the reason why I've been single for so long, because I have a hard time with it. I was blessed to be raised in a household with a mother and father that were incredible and lived, and were together for 60 years. So she was his queen and he was her king. And where is that? You know what I mean? Where is that?
Oprah says you can't say certain things when you're medium handsome.
Hey, Oak, you funny, bro. You funny, Oak. That's funny. He's right.
Because if he was fine,
well,
it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
that's true.
Yes,
that's a fact.
It is a fact. It is a fact. I am not disagreeing with that. It is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think it goes the same way for women. Guys will respond to a woman that's, more attractive than a non-attractive woman, a less attractive woman. You know what I mean? So it's that initial interaction, and yeah. But I do agree that it is difficult for men. I'm not saying that it's not at all. And I think part of the respect in a relationship and getting to know someone is you need to be respectful of and mindful of creating a comfortable space where they can be themselves. And also I would expect the same in return. And then obviously it can, if when you're comfortable with each other, then it's in that sense, it'll grow. But if you don't allow that space, if you don't provide that space for the person that's you're getting to know, it's going to be difficult because they're always going to hold back, I would imagine, Yeah.
I think, oh buddy, in my opinion, that was a total temperature check. So like,
He was seeing if she was gonna be like, "Oh, what was it?"
yes, and then he was because
I
you said
agree. Yeah.
you said he's never seen her, right?
They've never met before. No.
Never met before.
Wait,
No,
so
not
how did they even have that conversation? He must have seen her picture, at least.
Right. I think they met on a dating app or something. Like they've seen pictures of
Oh,
each other.
okay. Okay. So he's going off of visual images. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I definitely think that, and not to say that they were going to sleep together on the first date, but I think that it was a temperature check to see
if there's a pathway.
If it's possible.
Mhm.
If she comes back with some little flirtatious stuff
Yes.
back, then
What is her reaction to that? Yes.
he probably wasn't expecting that. But I guarantee you that was a temperature check.
I'm
But
sure it was. I'm sure it was.
definitely a temperature check for sure.
So do you feel like, and this is a question to both of you, do you feel like there is, I guess, what's the benchmark for that kind of talk, in the sense of we're still getting to know each other, we've been out on a few dates, is there a time that's appropriate for, hey, I was thinking about you earlier today when I was getting out of the shower? Like, is there a too soon, but also is there a almost like a too late? Like if
Yo,
Go ahead. I already know what I'm going to say.
So I mean, of course, 24 to 48 hours is probably way too soon to be even speaking that kind of sexual talk.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
But
caveat.
Okay.
There is I think in regards to that, I think there is a caveat, because I think it depends on how you meet said person. If you met said person and you're at a bar and they've been drinking, you've been drinking, and they start talking some freaky stuff, and like nothing happens that night, but there's been some talk, and then that next day you may wake up and say, hey, I had a dream about you, so on and so forth, just to check just to check her temperature to see if she was about the same action she was about last night.
Yes.
That's one situation to where 24 to 48 hours, I think that's okay, depending on how you met said person. But let's say, for instance, you meet said person at a gym, you have conversations. I think there should be no sexual talk until at least you spend time with said person, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, if after that first date or first hangout, yeah, I'm gonna throw out a couple. I was throwing a couple of spaghetti, throw a couple of spaghettis against the wall to see if it sticks.
Oh my!
I was thinking about you, so on and so forth. Now, if that energy is reciprocated, then I'm like, okay. I would never text a girl like, or just meeting her, oh, I woke up hard thinking about you, or something.
Oh Lord!
Like that.
Oh no!
I would never do that. I would never do that.
Where's the respect in that?
Yeah, I would never do that.
Yeah, I would.
But I think if there's been contact, with you and said person, I think that it's okay. And B, I think that it's okay if the female initiates it based off of maybe she's just feeling a little horny, and she woke up like, damn, like I woke up thinking about you and my nipples were hard. And then next thing you know, I'm like, the floodgates, and then I'm in there. I'm like, I'm in it.
That's
And
a whole
so
other conversation. Yes.
the floodgates open. So then that's when I'm like, okay, you know.
I mean, I agree with a lot of that. But I think the basis comes down to the connection that you have with a certain person. I mean, there's been situations where I've had a really incredible conversation right off the bat, and the connection has been really strong because we've connected on many different levels. And so from there, I proceed accordingly. So it doesn't mean we're having all kind of crazy sexual conversation, because I don't think that's super appropriate either. But it's one thing to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. You crossed my mind, and so on and so forth. And that's nice to hear. Like I said, if the connection has been there, it's not an initial reaction because you're just getting to know someone. But if you've been having this conversation for some time and things are flowing and proceeding, and it just seems like it's kind of going the way it should be in most relationships, then, I tend to go with it and see where it takes me.
Let me ask you this question, Susie.
Yeah.
How long would it take for you to call someone your boyfriend?
Well, it would take as long as it needed to be. There would need to be a conversation about commitment, and there would need to be a conversation also about what that entails.
Do you think it could happen in a month?
I don't know that it would happen in a month. I think that's pretty quick. I think
you're not saying no.
I'm not saying no, but like I said, it really comes down to the person. I'm not going to say I haven't had a connection with someone fairly quickly where it's felt that right. But it has to feel right for both individuals. Sometimes a female will say, "Oh my goodness, this person's great for me. He fits everything that I'm looking for," and then the guy's like, "Well, I mean,
she cute.
She cute. I'll take her out, but she got some things that she needs to work on." So, I mean, it needs to be a connection where we both are in that same space and feeling the same type of energy and respect for each other, and then moving forward from that. I'm not saying that a month is crazy, but it's pushing it.
But it can happen.
It can happen. I'm not totally.
You're not opposed to it.
I am not opposed to it. If it's the right connection, for sure.
So you could meet a dude today and go out with your girlfriends tomorrow and be like, "Yeah, I met this guy, blah, blah." Y'all hang out next month, right before Thanksgiving. You'd be like, "Yeah, it's my boyfriend."
I don't know. No. First of all, I need to hang out with you for quite some time. And yeah, there's got to be lots of communication and more interaction. I'm a person that, for me, relationships need to be, I'm a love lover. I love to love. So for some people have relationships where they consider a relationship, but hey, I see you once a month and I'm cool with that. That's crazy to me. I don't want that. But it need to be something that's consistent. Consistency is huge in my eyes. So if they're consistent in the way they move and the way they progress, and they show that they're interested and want to grow with you or with me, then that speaks volumes to me. It's kind of profound in many ways. So I go off of that. But to meet someone and then see them 3 weeks later and say, "Hey, that's my man," I don't think.
No, I'm saying you seeing him consistently in the 3 weeks, but
okay.
You don't see your girlfriends until maybe y'all go out to dinner once a month, whatever. The next time you see your girlfriends, you like,
okay,
that's my man. I saw him once, and I see him 4 times a week for the last 3 weeks.
Well, that would probably change things. But with me, it needs to be. I lost my train of thought here, and I forgot what I was going to say. But
I don't believe it.
what?
He said,
You don't believe that what? That I would call someone my boyfriend in a month?
No. I don't believe it.
Why?
So he's asking you that question because I don't believe that, or at least I personally think the minimum time that I would call someone my girlfriend is 6 months.
Yes. So this is what you just brought me right back to what I was going to say. I want to consider that as a boyfriend is a solid title, right? So when it comes to a title, I could say that is a person that I'm really, really comfortable with, I'm happy with. And from here, we're moving forward. And meaning like we're exclusive. I'm not seeing other people. But am I calling them? Am I calling this a relationship yet? We're building on it. Hopefully it progresses to that. I know that I'd be like, that's my man, and so, but that's exactly it. I mean, it takes time. It takes time, but I'm not a person that if I'm interested in a person, I'm going to spend time with that person and get to know that person instead of bouncing. I'm not going on all kind of dates when I'm trying to meet somebody at all. That's always just been my style. So that's just it. Some people look at it as if, well, you're not committed to this person at all. There's no commitment. And so why wouldn't you go on dates? But if the initial connection is really strong and it's great for me and it feels good, feels right, then I'm going to pursue that and keep going forward,
Jim, I'm in total agreement with Jimmy Baum here. Jimmy Baum, you're right, my guy or girl. You're right.
What does it say?
Jimmy said, "Did sex happen within that time frame? Can't make someone a partner in a month without sex."
What? But
I
wait,
agree. I agree. I agree. Jimmy, that's the smartest thing anyone said. That's the smartest thing anyone said in the chat all day.
Jimmy, we need to have a conversation. No, I'm kidding. I don't know who Jimmy is, but anyway, yeah, that is a big part of being in a relationship. You know what I mean?
So you're saying that you would have sex with someone within a month before you're calling them your boyfriend?
Gotta test drive the car before you buy it.
No. No, I'm gonna wait till it's a situation. It's a commitment.
I don't believe that either.
You don't?
No, I think it just depends on the guy. On every situation, it's going to depend on the person, in my opinion.
It is for sure. Yeah.
You may have sex with someone on the first night comparatively to not having sex with someone for 3 months.
True.
She said, yeah.
Listen, it depends on the situation. Listen, yeah. That's all I'm going to say. It really depends on the situation. But,
I mean,
so you wouldn't.
You guys got me in the hot seat. I see what you're doing.
You would preferably wait until there was a committed relationship.
Yes, and like I said, it really depends. To me, it depends. It depends on the connection that I have with someone. How long we've been chatting. How long we've been kind of in communication with each other. So it has to feel right for that to move forward. That's just how I've been. But
and I feel like that. To be honest, I feel like because we've had.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think people. It'd be crazy to say that people haven't had situations where they've going back to college days and my younger days where you haven't been out and about and you've met someone and within a short period of time and things have happened. I'm not saying that is not something that we've all experienced. Don't tell me you haven't experienced that. But
what I'm saying is I feel like that is something, and I don't know if maybe KP can pick up on this. I feel like that's something that
Pinky stress.
that we've heard from I want to say like upper East Coast / Latin women that they're prepared to wait until they have a commitment that is solidified. Do you feel like that's part, like, is it just like how you were raised? Is it more cultural?
I feel like it is different in every. I feel like there is different standards and boundaries in different cultures for sure. I can't speak for all cultures, but I agree with that.
Because KP, when we had Patty on the show, you remember Patty?
Mm-hmm.
Patty is in New York. Patty was like, "Nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm not doing X until I get Y." And she lived, and so that's what made me think of that. I was like, I feel like that's kind of a common thing that we've heard.
I don't think so.
Go ahead, speak. Speak.
I think that no, I agree. There are a lot of women like that, but I think that a lot of women have gone through things maybe in their most recent dating history to make them feel that current way, in my personal opinion.
I mean, of course, past experience is always going to have an effect on the way you move in the future.
So, like, if she feel like I was in a relationship, I gave it up too quick, the next guy I'm gonna make wait 3 months.
Exactly. Like I know some women who
I don't know that that's the way I would look at it. No, I mean, again, it really comes down to the relationship that you have with that individual, the connection that you have. I'm going to say that over and over, but some people you connect with on a whole level. I feel like I've connected with some people immediately on a level which has been really special. It hasn't happened very often in my life, very few of those. But they've created a safe space for me in a short
period. Give up the draws.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, that's not always the case. But I mean, I think
safe space.
I think for a woman, and I agree, and I think it goes both ways. Actually, I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, but having a safe space, obviously, you let your guard down more easily. That's what we crave. That's what we desired. It comes back down to that respect. If someone has that respect for me, and I'm not saying that sometimes that safe space hasn't been developed with the wrong
with nefarious intentions.
Yes.
You can't even lie straight right now.
Yes.
You can't even lie straight right now.
Wow.
When a woman says he created a safe space for me, you probably most likely you gave up the draws because he created that safe space for you.
It hasn't always. No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not. Okay. But I'm saying that it is important, and that is something that women will see as respectful if they are given that opportunity to be in a place where they can be themselves and they can feel like they can be safe around this individual for sure. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So let me ask you this: do you feel like respect is viewed differently for men as it is for women, and what you're looking for?
I would say yes, because and we talked about this on a prior episode, that men weigh respect in a relationship. Actually, I think I posted this on Facebook maybe like last week or the week before.
I think you did, actually. I think you did.
That men value respect and loyalty in a relationship above everything else. I don't think it's the same for women. I don't. And The reason I don't is because I think that in today's society, you see a lot of men who maybe kind of they give in to societal pressures, right? Culturally, and this is not just it's not just kind of pigeonholed to one ethnicity, but just culturally, it's how much money do you have, what kind of car do you drive, where do you live, and I think a lot of men choose to go that route because it's low hanging fruit. There's other men who choose to go a different route because they want a woman who respects them for the person that they are, who's going to be loyal to them through, thick and thin.
Right.
And to them, that means more. But I think on the female side of the equation, as it has been for, decades, if not centuries, that's not necessarily at the forefront of what I think that women, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, have been led to believe, right? It's women have been, and I don't know if you've seen this meme going around on social media, but there's a meme that says women have been taught what to expect from a man, but not necessarily how to treat one. And men have been taught what to provide for a woman, but not necessarily what to expect. So we kind of all are going through this journey where we're trying to figure out what works for us and what we want as people that's important to us. And I might value things that are different than what KP values, right? Like we kind on the panel tonight, we kind of have almost 3 different generations, right? KP's in his 30s, I'm in my 40s, you're in your 50s. So we kind of all have a different perspective of the evolution of what we want and what makes us feel good.
Right.
KP can obviously speak a little bit more to how the landscape is now.
Yes.
As a 30-year-old, mid 30-year-old man, but you can obviously speak to something that was 20 years before that for him and say, hey, when I was growing up, this is how men courted women.
Right.
And things have changed.
I agree that it's very different. Yeah. I do agree that it is very different than it was. You know what I mean? Back when I was in my 30s, What does it say?
Jimmy said, what is in that water in Rhode Island?
Nothing good. Nothing good. That's why I drink that's why I don't drink tap water. I appreciate it though. So, yeah. I mean, thank you for expanding on that. But I do feel like I do also feel like it's different for the way men view it as women do, and I also do feel like it's something that, like you said, how I viewed things back in my 30s, even in my 40s, are a little different than I do now when I'm 50 in my 50s. Like again, it's all through my experiences. I'm in a different chapter now, and so I know I've gone through some pretty toxic stuff, and I've learned quite a bit, unfortunately. But listen, no regrets ever. I feel like life experiences are what makes you who you are right now, and exactly know exactly what you're looking for. So,
and here's a perfect example, right? If you see a guy with a woman who, by consensus, might be unattractive,
okay,
and you ask that guy, "Why are you with her?" and he's gonna say, "She's always had my back. She's held me down. She provides everything that I need, and because of that, I'm gonna try to give her the world." You're not going to see an attractive woman with an ugly dude, and her response is, it's because he's loyal to me. With him because he's loyal. That's not going to be her response as to why she's in a relationship with him.
I don't know. I tend to disagree with that.
So that leads to, like, for instance, in my guy group chat, I sent a reel probably like a couple hours ago where on the reel it said they can never come back from this. There was a guy and a girl, they were sitting in the car, and the girl said, I want you to tell me when you knew you were in love with me. And he said, do you really want me to be honest with you? And she said, yes. And he's like, are you sure? She said, yes. He's like, I don't think you want me to be honest with you. And she said, I really, really want you to be honest with me. And he said, he's like, you know how honest I am. You know how straightforward I am. I can't lie. So do you really want me to answer that question? And she said, yes. And he's like, he said to her flat out, I think we're probably going to break up after this. And then she said, just tell me. And he said, are you sure? And she said, tell me. And he said, your box is trash. That's how I knew I was in love with you, because I could stay with you knowing that your box is trash. What would you do if you were the female? Would you you guys have been together for a couple years now?
No. That's crazy. What?
But he loves you besides the sex.
Right. He loves everything else about
He loves it.
But that's a huge part of a relationship. And
but when a guy wants to have sex, that's too early. That's apropos. You can't have it both ways, boo boo.
Listen. I mean, they've been together for a long time, and now he's just telling her this now. He's just gonna keep it a secret.
I mean, like, when do you ask your
you don't have those conversations? I feel like you should. I've had those conversations. Like, how do you feel? How do you feel about us in bed? How do you feel about when we get intimate? You don't have those conversations? I
for sure have those conversations, okay. But I don't think anyone is truly ready to have that honest conversation. Let's get serious.
All right. Well, maybe they're not ready, but it should be. Be discussed.
There's times when I ask for feedback after every single interaction.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're necessarily going to tell me the truth.
Yes.
Did you like it? Yeah,
some
babe, that was crazy.
Some girl, like, literally, like, this is no BS. Some girl, like, literally, I was smashing this girl, and after we were done, I said, "Did you come?" And I just wanted to see what she would say, because I knew she didn't. And right. She said, "Yeah," and she said, "Yeah," and I was like, "Why are you lying?" And she's like, because I knew you would be mad, because I knew you wanted to. And I was like, why even lie?
Well, she probably felt bad. But she shouldn't have lied. Listen, again, that must have been it's whatever the situation is.
It's a tough conversation to have. Pride.
Tough conversation.
Pride gets hurt.
I feel like sex and finances are the two toughest conversations to have.
I agree, but I also agree that if you are that comfortable, and again, this comes back to, I know, the safe space, but I guess if you're comfortable enough with your partner and you are on a whole different level where you can have discussions like that, and you should be able to have uncomfortable discussions, then it shouldn't be an issue.
I don't know. I don't know really? That if you tell
you haven't had uncomfortable.
I don't know if you tell
conversations about sex with someone that you've been with for some time that you're comfortable with, or that.
I'm not telling no chick.
I feel like if you were with a woman for a couple years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and you told her the sex isn't that enjoyable, I just love you that much, she's never gonna get past that. She's never going to get past that.
I guess the conversation should have happened a lot earlier then.
I mean, how can't you tell?
Like he just said, some people, I guess, are faking the funk. I don't know. I mean, usually you can tell, but maybe in some circumstances you can't. I don't know. Maybe some people are that good.
Do you feel like you could be in a relationship with someone long term, if not, like marriage or down a serious relationship?
Yeah.
And the sex was just lackluster. Like it was okay, not mind blowing, but
do I agree with that? Yeah, I do think that could happen for sure.
And you can marry that person.
Well, I think it comes with, you have to look at the entire package of that individual. I think intimacy, and I'm not talking about just intimacy covers a lot, but intimacy when it comes to sexual, he's already laughing at me. When it comes to sex, it has to kind of be there. I mean, it would be difficult for me to be in a situation where that was lacking, or there was a lack of, that connection of some sort. They would have, I don't know, because I'm thinking like this person could have been the most incredible person and exceeds every standard in every other aspect, but
except this one thing, you would consider cashing in those chips and being like, I'm gonna stay on the market and see what else is out here to find someone else that was.
I don't think I would. I think early on in a relationship, if you're with someone for many years before you get married, you kind of know. I wouldn't get married to someone that I thought that sex was trash. You know what I mean? Or I was going to have an issue with it later down the line, or I was going to be like, okay, this is still not progressing. He's still not doing, whatever.
But he's doing everything else. But he's doing everything else. He's romantic.
I know. It depends on the person and how much value you place on that intimacy part.
Do you think that the older you get, and obviously I mean that in the most respectful way.
Yes.
Do you think that the older you get, the more likely you are to compromise on certain things? So for instance, let's say you're 53 now, you're going to be 54 next year. When you hit 55, do you think that when you hit 55 and you say, you know what, I'm still single, maybe if I find a man who checks all the boxes except for this one thing, and it doesn't have to be sex, it could be something like I meet a guy who checks all the boxes except for this one particular thing. At this point in my life, I'm willing to see it through.
It would have to be, I would have to know what that box is, because everything holds different value for me. You know what I mean? So
what if he did everything great except he didn't have a great job? He had a job, but it was.
That's okay. I could do with that. I've never been a person that is into like the status of an individual. You have to have this, you have to be making this much money. You got to be doing this, and this. I've never been that person. That I've always had respect for people. And you have to have a profession. You have to be making some money. But I've been in that situation, so I'm okay with that. See, so for me, I don't hold someone, I don't hold a certain man as valued into high value man according to what he's making every year. You know what I mean? I just don't. That hasn't been the most important part of a relationship for me.
What's your definition of a high value man?
Um,
Shout out to Kevin Samuels, recipes.
yeah, I know, right? Kevin's wild. Well, he was wild. So for me, it would be there is a lot of it would be a respect issue. How you are able to make me feel in your world, in your space, in that relationship. How you move, what your values are, your decision making. A lot of it comes down to values. That we'd have to have that conversation, but it really just depends on. I mean, those are the important parts for me. To me, it's just like honesty, loyalty, treating me and making me feel like I'm also valued and worth being in that relationship. It comes down to a lot of that stuff for me. It's not so much like you have
not his income.
Nah. It never has been my entire life.
Look at KB face. So let's
call it what you want. Yeah.
No, I actually believe you. Believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anybody that knows me, anybody that's on this can butt in. They know exactly what what my ex-marriage was like. And so, and anything else, any other relationship, they know that I'm not that kind of person. But it's not like that for most people. As you know, society has built this, if it's all about status and what you can get and access to. And so what can you provide for me? What can you bring to the table, So, it comes down to the individual, I guess. But I feel like as you get older, going back to your question, do I feel like I lower my standards? I actually feel the opposite. And that's probably why I've been single for so long, because again, it has to be something that you have to come a certain way. And I think it's just because of my past experiences. And so I don't want to fall back into what I've kind of healed from and worked on individually, on my and building in myself. So it's kind of difficult for men, I guess, at this point, especially I guess I would imagine as you get older, to get into a situation with a woman that knows what she kind of wants, has been through certain things. And, I could say it's the same thing for a male too. It's not just a female that's been through a lot of bullshit and toxic stuff and have gotten hurt and has trust issues now. I think men have to deal with that as well. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that's just part of being human. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
no, it does. It does. I mean, it's obviously it's all your perspective.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Do you prefer men your age or younger or older?
That's a great question. Well, I will say this. I am approached by younger men. I think that they just automatically assume that I'm not 53. And I take that as a compliment. And then I say, oh, I'm 53. So they're like, holy shit. And then for most, they think it's a turn on. And I'm like, well, I have dated younger for a good majority of my life. And not to say that was a bad thing. I think that a lot of it came down to we were just in different stages in life. And so for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. But it can work out. I'm not saying it's not possible. And, I'm at a stage now where I'm like, I probably would never date under 45. And that's just where I'm at. And I would love to,
What if he was like 65?
I don't know. I don't think we'd be at the same. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think it's important that I I'm looking for, that there's a person out there that is stable enough and knows exactly what, they are looking for. They don't want to play these games, go back and forth. Because I feel like with the younger dating, that it was always like, it was some kind of a game. It was, and maybe it was just a maturity level. I'm not sure, but, yeah, no, I'm not in that role right now to be playing games. I'd rather not do it at all. And so my friends will hear me say, I'm probably gonna stay single for the rest of my life because I'm not playing these cat and tail, cat and mouse games. So we'll see.
I feel like I hear women say, "I'm just gonna be single for the rest of my life," and I know y'all don't mean that.
No, for sure. I don't want to be.
At some point, y'all gonna say, "You know what? I put up a good fight. Just give me a man."
No, and I don't want to be. I mean, who the heck wants to not? I mean, I know that I want to share the rest of my life with someone and go on adventures and travel and do all these wonderful things with someone. And so, no, I mean, who the heck? I mean, it'd be crazy. I guess you're right. There might be some people that want to stay single for the rest of their life, but that's a lonely life. Unless they just want to stay single and, bounce around from person to person. Who knows? I don't know. That's definitely not for me. But,
Yeah.
Do you think like a relationship can survive, like a loving relationship can survive without respect?
I do. I think that.
You do?
Yeah, I do. Because I think that I think there's a cliche that kind of sums it up. And the cliche is you never know what goes on behind closed doors. And I think that people look at relationships and they say, man, how does that work? Or that relationship's crazy. But you never know what goes on behind closed doors, And I think that like a lot of times, like especially like in the media, when you see that, the media post is this person cheated on this person, and what people don't take into consideration is that we're looking at it from a perspective of a normal person's life, right? Where we have normal expectations, but we don't know that they didn't have an agreement, and it just so happens that somebody found out that he was creeping to the hotel and he got spotted or she got spotted or whatever the case was, so
yeah.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors. You never know what compromises people make to make a relationship work. So I think that could a relationship work where someone compromises some of their core values just to have a man or just to have a woman? Yeah, I think it could work. Now, the term work, we're assuming meaning fruitful, but work could also just mean long term, right? Like people are in relationships long term and we think it works. It may not be working, but it is continuing.
Yeah.
And I think that, like I said, you never know the conversations that people have when it's just the two of them laying in bed and they're, and they're pillow to pillow. And he says, you know what? I'm not in love with you, but I think we bring other people into the relationship. And she says, you know what? This is better than me not having a man. If I have to share him with other women, that's fine. Like,
again, it comes down to
the agreement, like it just.
I think nowadays that happens a lot more than we imagine. I think there's that tolerance level in a relationship, and some people it's a lot more tolerant than others. But it happens for sure. What you just described, I know people right now that are doing that. A lot of people, and I'm like, that can't. They have the tolerance level, or they're at a point where you're right. Why do I want to start over? or why would I want to, risk the chance of losing what I have right now and beginning all this over and losing this house or losing this car, losing whatever.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
got a whole life with this person. You're gonna give it up.
Yep.
To go find something where you think the grass is greener on the other side, and you find out it's not.
And is that when people cheat?
I mean, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
that's a whole different conversation. I mean, because the situations that we see that we think people are cheating, I don't think is always people cheating. I don't always think it's people cheating. But like I said, in normal people relationships, us people who are not celebrities,
You're real quiet over there in the corner.
Jimmy said black men don't cheat, and that's true.
Yeah. Okay, Jimmy. Okay.
But I think that people get to a point where they love the person they're with, but they need something else. And I don't think that if you cheat, it doesn't mean that you don't love the person that you're with. It might mean that you don't respect them as much.
There's the respect issue. Yeah, it does. You're right, because you can love. I mean, we can love a lot of people, but the respect issue is a whole nother level. It's a whole nother layer.
Right.
That's disrespectful for sure.
Right, and so it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it means that they don't love that person that they're in a relationship with. Now, should they obviously have had a conversation? Hey, baby, I'm not happy. Blah 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 blah. Of course.
Yeah.
Should the other person have said, I feel like he's not happy, or I feel like she's not happy. I feel like I can't please her. I feel like something's going on. I need to talk to her. Like, yeah, there's communication that's involved in that decision.
Right.
And I think it gets overlooked. I remember I was in a social media back and forth, and this lady posted, women can always tell when their man is cheating. And I responded, I said, but you can't tell when he's not happy. And we was going back and forth, like me and like other dudes that were commenting on her post. It was like, yeah, that's right, blah 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 blah. Like, but if you can tell when he's cheating, but you can't tell when he's not happy, that's not intuition. Then you can't say my intuition is right. My intuition is always right, because you had no idea that he wasn't happy.
A strong, healthy relationship, you should be able to tell when something's wrong, when something's off, for sure.
Right. Right. And you're basing what your intuition is telling you based off his change in behavior. Now he's starting to hang out later. He's starting to go out with the guys. He's starting to take trips to Colombia. Him and his friends going to do stuff.
Always Colombia. It's always
Colombia, right? Punta Cana, right? So those types of things are telling you that there's something going on.
Right.
But you can't tell that he's not happy in his relationship.
Yeah, there's got to be signs, and if you're missing signs, then the relationship itself is probably not as strong and as healthy, and the bond isn't quite there as it should be.
Jimmy said Medellin.
Jimmy, you need to go to sleep. I don't know what you're doing. Who is? Come on now.
Are these all your people, Susie?
I don't know.
These are all your people.
Jimmy Bomb. JimmyBomb.com. I mean, yeah, I agree with a lot of that. You should be able to see the signs before something really kind of goes down. And so, well, this was great conversation. But I also have one important question before we end this all. So
go ahead.
What's more important to you, like being respected or understood?
Why can't you have both?
I mean, one could lead to the next.
Yeah.
You know.
I would say understood.
Me too.
I would say understood.
Me too.
And I feel like the reason I would say understood is because if you know me, then you know why I feel the way I feel and I make the decisions that I make because you know me.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you respect me. Me being understood just means that you know me.
Right. You should know the way you move.
Right.
And why your actions are the actions that you take. And for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I feel like
understanding is important.
And I feel like respect is more of like respect is an expectation and a boundary.
Mm-hmm.
If you respect me, that just means that you might not cheat on me. You respect me, that means you're gonna come home at a decent time when you're having girls' night out. That's respect.
Right.
But that's your actions.
Mm.
You respecting me isn't based on me. You respecting me is based on your actions. But you understanding me is you recognizing my behavior, my character, who I am as a person, listening to me, and you really taking to heart, these are the things that lead to why he makes the decisions that he makes. These are the things that play into how he feels the way that he feels, those types of things. So I think that me being understood means more than you respecting me, because if it's just like, oh, I respect you, that's just you not doing things that you're not supposed to do. That has nothing to do with you knowing me in our relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think once someone is really understood, if you really understand your partner, I think they're, like I said, when I first came on, when we talked about the respect, it's the respect issue, that it's something that grows within a relationship. It's not something that is just there in the beginning. And so as you get to learn your partner and you understand them more and more, you can build that respect for each. I would imagine that's going to happen naturally. And, I agree with a lot of what you just said. Being understood to me is more important, for sure. Yeah.
KP, what about you?
Understood.
He wants both.
I want both. I want it all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, of course, I would say understood for sure. I think, yeah. Understood.
Because I feel like if you understand me, then that's going to lead to you respecting me. But if you respect me, that doesn't mean that you understand me.
Exactly.
Facts.
Yeah. 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
If you understand me, I'm going to be upset if you come home at 2:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is going to lead to you respecting me when you come home at midnight.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like you said earlier, one can lead to the other. I think if you understand me, that will lead to respect. I don't think that respect necessarily has to lead to you understanding me, but both are great when you can get them.
Both are important for sure, yes. But I feel like being understood outweighs the respect aspect for sure. And will lead into that eventually.
Like Jimmy said, to understand is to respect.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy's got all the answers tonight. So
I don't know who Jimmy is, but he might
hang out with Jimmy.
He might slide in somebody's inbox, and I can guess who it's gonna be. So let's go ahead and wrap up. Susie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
this has been great. This has been a pleasure.
For hanging out with us tonight. I know it's hump day. You got 2 more days with the kids at school.
Yeah.
It's cold up there in Rhode Island.
Pass
What
on
do you
some
have?
heat. Said pass on some heat up here. We need it.
What do you have for all the people who have watched tonight, and for all the people who are going to watch, in the next couple of days on all the platforms? What are some parting words you have for them?
I mean, I think for individuals to progress in whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship, to have trust in that and respect, you have to be understanding, be consistent again, be honest with yourself, be honest with who you are, create that space for them to be honest with you as well. And also, have your boundaries. That was something I always struggled with, but boundaries are important, and something I had to learn the hard way. And also just listen to be understood, and let your partner do the same. That's what I got for you.
Hey, and that's all we need. That's all we need. KP, what do you got for the people that chimed in tonight, and then everybody who's going to watch coming up here in the next couple of days?
Susie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate you for hopping on.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure meeting someone from the smallest state in the United States. That's awesome. God bless you for living there, for sure.
Listen, I'm still planning my escape. It's in the works. It's in the works.
Okay. For everyone else that tuned in tonight, thank you so much for joining us. Please like, subscribe, and Oak, appreciate you, my boy, for chiming in tonight. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you, and hopefully everyone will tune in next week as well.
Oh Lord!
And there it is. And with that being said, I just want to, Susie, thank you so much for accepting the invitation to come on the show. We definitely appreciate you. You were the star tonight, so I know it's not always easy being in the hot seat, but we appreciate you for coming on and sharing your life experiences and talking about how you view things, and we really appreciate you for taking the time, because you could have been doing anything else. You might have been asleep tonight at this point, but we appreciate you for hanging out.
Yes, and you know what? I appreciate the invitation, and it was definitely an honor to be here. It was definitely fun. I don't mind being in the hot seat. It's okay. It's all good.
Good.
KP, something hot in Rhode Island, something hot. I needed some heat, so it all worked out.
I mean, y'all about to get some snow, so it's coming. I don't know what to tell you, but it's coming.
Give it up, champ. Okay.
KP, thank you so much for taking the time, hanging out. Obviously, being my sidekick and really just driving the conversation. We had a guest on tonight who gave us a different perspective. Like I said, we got I don't want to say three different generations, because we're not really that far apart, but 3 different decades for sure. So I always appreciate you. I always thank you for taking the time. I always love having you on. And for everybody else who was chiming in the chat tonight, everybody else who's going to watch on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Facebook, Instagram, all of the different platforms. Thank everybody for taking the time to chime in the chat, watch, and participate in the show. This would be nothing without you guys. So like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. That friend will tell a friend, and we can continue to grow the platform. So until next week, we love everybody who stopped by today. We want to send good vibes to everybody. And until we see you again, peace.
Peace.
Bye. Have a
Like,
great
subscribe,
day.
like, subscribe.
Like, subscribe, share.